Hey, what's going on? I've got a conceptual idea for a video. Let's see how this ends up. All right. If you hear something when you're practicing that sounds kind of cool, it probably is. So I was fixing a guitar last night on the couch, and I played an E, A, D, G, then a B. I thought, wow, that could be something. I use those chords quite a bit, I will admit. Let's say we put a beat to it. I'm going to grab a metronome, go 120 beats a minute. Let's go like... Repeat. What if we do each chord just 2 beats? We go 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a little overdrive on there. Let's put fuzz on there just for fun. That could turn into a song. So like when I warm up with a guitar, I like to check the E, A, D, G, which are these strings. E, A, D, G. Just go right across the strings, and those are like the 4 biggest keys, the 4 biggest chords in rock and roll. Chords and keys. So like I said, I turn these into half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's half note, half note, half note, half note, and then maybe 2 whole notes. Something like that. Which should, let's see how many measures that is. Let's just find out. Ready, go. Alright, that's a 4-measure repeating pattern. So, you know, if it was 5, I was messing around with it. I go, is that 6 or is that 5? Or, you know, so I had to stop and think about the counting, and, you know, I'm a little slow there, but I figured it out. So if it was a 5-measure cycle, I thought, oh, that's a little lopsided, but it wasn't. You know, if it was 6, that was a little strange. If it was 3 measures repeating, in rock and roll, we tend to like 4 measures repeating. Either 2, 4, 8, 12, 16, something like, you know, in 4s. 24 measure, like a 32 measure cycle is cool. So anyway, again, a root source of sound for me is those E, A, D, G. I can't overstate that importance. To me, to my ear, it just sounds cool. You know, you might hear something way different. Some people think that's just way too obvious, or some people are kind of freaked out by open strings. They're like, what do you mean, open strings? Ah! I'm like, well, the nice thing about that is you can play one-handed, you know. Oh, it goes to the next open string. I didn't even realize that. E, A, D, G. Next open string is B. So it's about as simple as you can get. E, A, D, G, B. And you go back to E. Oh, wow. It's way too easy. It's almost embarrassing. So then I thought, well, what can you do with that? Can you make riffs out of that? You know, you can do power chords, cowboy chords, bar chords. Let's just try them as bar chords. So, what else can you do? You could make an arpeggio off of each one if you want to turn it into an exercise, like or you could turn them into hot licks. That was playing a hot lick over each chord. And that's a skill, you know, I'm just kind of setting up an exercise for myself. I don't know if I'll really turn it into a song, but it's a way to exercise. So you've got your root note of the chord E, A, D, G, B, power chord, bar chord, arpeggio, hot lick. And you can also turn them into like these miniature chords, something like a double check. Or you could, that was a D shape, and there's other shapes like that was shaped either D shapes or this little, like on an A would be a 6-5-5. Or you can do these, like a D would be a 7-7-5. Check this out. What's next? E, A, D, G, B. I keep choking on that B. I like the way this chord progression kind of pulls you forward. You can kind of feel it developing. That's because it's a circle of fourths until the B. What that means, the fourth note in an E scale is A. The fourth note in an A scale is D. The fourth note in a D scale is G. And the third note in a G scale is B. So you go to a third from G to B. Did I lose you there? To be able to participate in a conversation like that, you need to spend some time with your major scales. Then you'll understand what I'm talking about. So if, you know, we can talk about that on another video. But everybody needs to work on your major scales, yeah, to be able to understand a little bit of theory. I get a lot of questions about theory, and it's kind of like I have to send you back to the drawing board on that major scale stuff, and that's cool. It's fun. You'll like it once you get there. So let's talk about that soon. So you can feel it kind of pulling you forward. It's kind of got, you know, excitement, you know, like, woo, we're going, we're moving, we're progressing to something new, and the end on that B, like, all right, awesome, now what? Do it again. So you could do a lot of different styles with that riff too. I really had fun doing those little shapes. It's like a puzzle, you know. Ooh, itchy, itchy. So that's why I don't really play games or put puzzles together, because the guitar is like a game and a puzzle and a toy and a sport, and it's art and everything. Guitar is kind of like it just does everything. Plus it's dead sexy too. Going higher and higher, higher and higher and higher, and it takes you back around. So it's kind of like almost like a merry-go-round. You go round and around, and you're like, woo! It's just fun. It pulls you around in a circle. And it's very satisfying to find, if the chords didn't make sense, if they were kind of like random, let's just make some random chords. Let's see. Oh, I don't even know how to do it. That's kind of a mess. Just random chords. However, I did write one song that was the most random sounding group of chords I could think of. Let me just give you an example of that. I'll step on the fuzz. This one was kind of a mess. It's like... So that was a kind of a mess, I was just designed to go, what's he doing? That's different. That's not nice. And I'm like, right. It was a mess. I should have made the count weirder on that, but those chords kind of push you towards something, and the count was a normal kind of, measures or something, rhythm and everything. It was a very short song. It was on Meerkat's Enemy Planet album. The song is called Subculture of Nerds. Yeah. So I've been writing songs a long time, and I don't know. It's something to do, but I really should be a little more disciplined and focused. But I just wanted to show you how to take an idea and develop it a little bit, and just make a figure, like a section, maybe like a verse, or a chorus, or a bridge, or an intro, or an interlude, or an outro. They're all sections of songs, To make a pop song, you kind of need an intro, a verse, and a chorus, maybe a bridge. And so this kind of sounds like, let's see what we think this could be. I think it's a verse. I'm going to take the reverb out. Let's do it like this. So that's why you need to know bar chords, scales, arpeggios, those little shapes. These are just things I exercise on constantly. I really don't sit and play full songs or cover songs that much unless I really need to, or if I'm obsessed with it, I will. But otherwise, I just like to exercise and noodle around. Like a song is a big commitment. I have to really feel like, I need to play the whole song. Probably because I've done so many gigs, where you have to endure a complete song. It's almost more fun for me to tinker with the parts and just exercise and play. And, if I have to perform a song, I will. But right now, I don't have to, so I'm not gonna. But I might write that one. All right. Well, that's a wild ramble. This is my 1970 Gibson Les Paul Custom that looks like it had a bad headstock break at one time. I love this guitar because it's got some really cool checking in the finish. I think a black guitar with checking in the finish is pretty darn attractive. That checking is the faint spider webby cracks in the paint. I love this guitar. It's got some Lindy Fralin humbuckers, which I think sound awesome. So there you go. So again, if you're writing, if you're practicing and you hear something that's kind of cool, write it down and develop it. That is my concept for today. Thank you very much for coming into Mr. Hoover's classroom, and keep practicing because there will be a test on this.